The Little Mermaid. Deep in the ocean there lived a little mermaid. Her name was Ani. Ani was very pretty. She sang better than any other mermaid. Ani swam and played all day with her 4 older sisters. They loved their water world. Each sister was allowed to swim to the surface of the ocean on her birthday. "I can't wait to go to the top of the water," said Ani. Ani's birthday finally came. She kissed her father and swam up. She looked above the waves. What she saw was amazing. Fireworks were lighting up the sky. A handsome prince was sailing by on a large ship. The little mermaid fell in love with him. But soon a storm came. Rain fell from the sky. Thunder boomed and lightning crashed. Lightning hit the ship. The prince was thrown over the side. Ani dove deep into the water to save the prince. Ani brought the prince safely to shore. She waited with him through the night. At dawn, he awoke. He saw Ani's pretty face. The prince was about to thank Ani, but she jumped into the water and swam back home. "I am in love with the prince," she told her sisters. "I want to be human so that I can marry him. I want legs instead of a tail." "Only one person can make you human," said a sister. "The Sea Witch." Ani was afraid, but she wanted to be with the prince, so she swam to the Sea Witch. "I have a magic potion," said the witch. "It will make you human, but you can never again be a mermaid. As payment, you must give me your voice." The little mermaid was not sure what to do. She loved to swim in the water. She loved her sisters and her father, and she loved to sing. But she loved the prince too. She wanted to marry him. So Ani drank the potion. Ani swam up to the surface. It was night. She could not see well. She swam to land and fell asleep. She woke up in the morning near a large palace. Her tail was gone. In its place were 2 legs. As she stood up, a man came out of the palace. It was the prince. The prince saw her and walked over. "I know your face. Who are you?" he said. But when Ani tried to speak, her voice was gone. Ani stayed at the prince's palace. The prince fell in love with the silent, beautiful girl. Ani wished she could tell the prince who she really was. One night, Ani was standing on the shore. 4 mermaids popped above the water. They were Ani's sisters. "We spoke to the Sea Witch," they said. "She gave us a potion to bring your voice back. In return, we gave her our hair." They gave Ani the bottle. She drank the potion. The next morning, Ani awoke. She went to see the prince. Ani began to sing to the prince. "Your voice, you can speak," said the prince. Ani told the prince how she saved him in the storm and how she had become human. "I love you," Ani said to the prince. The prince smiled. "I love you too," he said. Ani and the prince were married on the beach. Ani and the prince were so very happy.